Hey friends, it's Dr. Alduan Tartt, Christian clinical psychologist. Can we talk about the pandemic no one's talking about? Can we talk about loneliness? Now that I have your attention, it is a pandemic that every psychologist, every therapist is worried about because we're seeing loneliness in record numbers. New studies came out and says one in three people have reported significant levels of loneliness over the past year, past 2 years, right? And so I want to give you seven reasons why it's hard for you to make friends. And I want you to identify, and I'm going to tell you how to fix it. All right, so that you can make more friends. But first of all, why do we need friendships? Right? We were born to be connected. Mothers know this, fathers know this. If you've ever had the blessing of being in a delivery room, after a baby is born, once they check to make sure that the baby is healthy and check all the readings and make sure mom is healthy, the first thing they do is they put that baby skin to skin contact on mama. And now they put skin to skin contact on fathers. Why? They want the baby to bond with the mother and the father and to survive. There were studies done before the ethics kicked in where they gave babies food and they gave babies water, milk, what they needed. And they did not give them touch. They did not give them the warm touch of a human being, of their parents. You can look up this study. And the babies failed to thrive. They died. We die without touch. So this is an extremely important message. I want you to understand that part of the reason you may be feeling depressed, maybe feeling anxious, maybe feeling even suicidal, maybe feeling empty and dull, or like you're just going through life. You feel like people, they witness you, but they don't see you. They around you, but they don't feel you. They sit next to you, but they don't touch you. All right? You need that like you need oxygen. It's right there in the word. It says in Proverbs 27, verse 9, perfume and incense bring joy to the heart, and the pleasantness of a friend springs from their heartfelt advice. We need friends at all times, but especially in the middle of the pandemic. It says in Psalm 133, how good and pleasant is it when God's people live together in unity. It's like precious oil poured on the head, running down on the beard, running down on Aaron's beard, down the collar of his robe. It is as if the dew of Hermon were falling on Mount Zion, for there the Lord bestows his blessing, even life forevermore. And then Proverbs 17:17, a friend loves at all times, and a brother or a sister is born for a time of adversity. We need our friends more than ever. So let me tell you how to actually get friends, because now you've got it. You know that's me. This is connected. Some of you're going to send this to your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your colleagues. You know your children are going through this. They're lonely at school. They're lonely on their teams. They're lonely at parties. They're lonely on the school bus. They're lonely after school. They're lonely in the summer, and so are we. All right, some of us are lonely in our marriages. You're lonely in your work groups, you know. You know that. You can feel lonely. You're dating someone. So I want to correct that. 7 things you do to make it hard, though. All right, this is coming from the research of Dr. Mariana Bokarova, a psychologist out of Australia, published in Psychology Today. All right, number 1, introversion. You expect others to make the first step. Ooh, I'm getting your business. To quote Pastor Mike Todd, shout out to Transformation Church in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I check you out, even though I'm in Atlanta, my brother. So if y'all watching this, y'all know Mike Todd. Let him know that Dr. Tartt shouted out he in his ministry. All right. So introversion. You don't go first. You're not friendly. Now you're not unfriendly. You're not mean. You're not a bully. You just don't speak. You just watch. You go and you watch and you observe. Not gonna work. Can't be an introvert. All right. Number 2, fear of rejection. All right. You get anxious even thinking about being around others because your pessimistic approach that you have makes you think that if I speak to people, they're going to reject me. They're going to laugh at me. They're going to dismiss me. They're going to talk to me and then turn back to whomever they were talking with. and I'm not going to be accepted. All right, I'm not blaming you. I'm just simply saying these are the things that we can work on so that you can make friends. Number three, they're pragmatic concerns, and let's talk about it. These are practical. Like I don't want to catch COVID. All right, I'm an older adult. I don't want a breakthrough case. Are you unvaccinated? For whatever reason, but we're not gonna get into that. Maybe you have a health concern, but you just don't live close to anyone that you feel is connected with you. Number four, low trust. You feel that others have a different agenda. Now, this is called hostile attribution bias. All my psychology students, I know y'all like, oh my goodness, something we actually studied in class is being applied. Hostile attribution bias. What does that mean? That means that you attribute hostility, negativity. You have a bias towards doing this to others. So when others are approaching you, or there's a scenario, and you see it a lot in the black community when you're looking at someone. What you looking at? Why are you looking at me? Are you looking at me disrespectful? That's a hostile attribution bias. Are you going to be looking at you thinking, okay, they jocking me? All right, that's positive attribution bias. You see what I'm saying? So you think that, you know what, people don't like you. See, women are messy. They don't like a woman like me. I'm too attractive for them. They're just going to talk about me. Are those guys, they just want to flex. They're not really trying to connect with someone. You know what? They're of a different color. They're of a different race. They're of a different political view. And we know how social media has divided us. You come up with this story in your head where you don't have trust for people. So how are you going to connect with someone you don't trust? Number five, I hope y'all connected with this. Lack of time. Some of you have no time. You are giving it all to work. You're giving it all to the children. You're giving it all to your husband and your wife, mother, father. For those of you taking care of your parents, I commend you. It is a mammoth task. It is a mammoth task. I have a number of clients who are dealing with that right now, and just how difficult that is to be able to carry. You don't have time to even connect with friends. You don't even have time to even reconnect with old Facebook friends you went to high school with, friends who want to be in contact with you, right? Number six, pickiness. Oh my goodness, that's superficial. Like, they don't make X, Y, and Z. If they don't wear these type of red bottom shoes, or if it's not a six-figure earner, if it's not an alpha male, whatever this mess Kevin Samuels talks about, if it's not one, if they're not a Christian, they're not this, they're not that, they're not Republican, and they're not Democrat, whatever, pickiness. It could be, all right, I have natural hair, they don't, pickiness. That's not going to help you. And then number seven, you're disagreeable or self-centered. You want everyone to do something for you, but you're not very good at being a friend, right? You don't really look out for others. You want others to do for you. You want them to treat you, but you don't treat others. You want everyone to celebrate your birthday, but you don't celebrate their birthday. You wear your best dress to their birthday party. You can't do that. You wear your second or third best dress. You let the birthday woman shine, or the birthday girl shine if it's a teenage girl. You understand what I'm saying? Or you just self-centered as a man. You don't check on your brother. He's struggling. You don't holler at him. You don't go by and check on him. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be. So those seven things are reasons, according to the research, why you don't have friends. Now, what does that leave us? All right, that leaves us three solutions. One, to change your mindset. All right, lots of adults need more friends. Right? Saying that people have their friends, they're good, they don't want to make friends is a myth. We all want more friends. Now some of you are good. You have a good solid base. And let me edit that. You have a good solid base because you have enough. But there are a lot of people, the majority of people say, could you use another good friend? Most people would say yes. So change that mindset that people are good, right? They are looking for friendship. And it's the second one, and this comes from the research of Dr. Ohana Guha, who's also out of Australia. It says you have to do proximity, repetition, and similarity. All right. So you have to look for those who are close to you. Right. So proximity. So that means that you are looking to connect with those close. They could be close on social media. They could be, how many of you get a dog, you're going to be, or a pet, that, especially a dog, that people who have dogs are going to speak to you. It's their culture, right? It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter. You have a dog, you go to the dog park and you go repetitiously, you keep going, you go with repetition, you go over and over again, you're going to start speaking and develop a relationship. Hey, what time do you bring your dog out? I'll start meeting you out here at 8 o'clock, and then you start talking about work, start talking about life. Ladies, start talking about relationships. Men, you start talking about Bitcoin. You start talking about something that you heard, your favorite podcast, sports, God, whatever it is, all right? And then similarity, look for those who are similar, right? A librarian, in theory, probably not going to find his or her tribe at the club. Even though I'm not saying librarians can't be versatile, because you certainly can. You could be learned and turn up. But you might be better off joining a local book club. Joining a local book club, that might be your vibe, because we can talk books. Anyone knows me, I'm an avid reader. You talk books, I don't care what your background is. We can sit up there. You want to talk books, we can talk. You want to talk James Patterson, we can talk James Patterson. Whatever, that's one of my favorite authors, right? So whatever you want to talk, you want to talk the Bible, we can talk the Bible. Come on, anytime, especially a men's ministry, Lord. Anyway, so you want to talk, so do that. And then the third strategy. So 1 is change your mindset. Adults need friends. 2, proximity, repetition, and similarity. And then 3 is called catch and keep. All right, so place yourself in places where people like you like to hang out, right? What's your vibe? I love live music. I love church. I love Bible study. So if I want to connect, I can go to any local church in any city and simply just join a Bible study, and I'm going to find my kind of people who love God. You feel what I'm saying? It could be sports, right? I love sports. I love Morehouse. I love University of Michigan. If you're a fan of either one of those two schools, I'm going to find my tribe, right? And believe it or not, because I have 2 daughters, I really am a strong advocate for, just women's rights, right? Because I advocate for my daughters. You talk about that. I can be in that space all day. We can have a conversation. I can be in there with academic spaces, all right? And then you connect with genuine small talk, right? So you just say, hey, what brings you out today? You know what? What made you join this Bible study? How long you been a member of this church? And they ask you, no, I'm not a member. I just saw it men's ministry. It's right up the street. We're doing it online at my church. Y'all doing it in person. I just need to catch that word, my brother. I just want to see what y'all brothers are talking about. So if you have me, let's go ahead and break down this chapter of John. You feel me? All right. And then be the inviter. And I say, I really enjoy Bible study. Brother, you work out? Yeah, I work out. Where you work out? Okay, I'll meet you up there. Let's work out. Or you do the inviting. Hey, what are you and your wife? You mentioned your wife is new to town. My wife's from California. Your wife's from California. Let's get together. Let's do lunch. Right? All right. You vaccinated. We can eat outside. Whatever we're going to do. We had a conversation. Right? You're not vaccinated. Okay, go get your PCR test and let's go do it. Get your rapid test and let's connect. All right? And then be the friend you want to be. That's how you do it. You do those things, right? And go get counseling for the things that cause you. So instead of being an introvert, be an extrovert. Speak first. Say, how you doing? I like your shoes. Hey, how you doing? I see you all the time at work. We never really speak, but I love your vibe. Think positively. Don't think about rejection. Think about acceptance. You are what you think about. As a man or woman thinketh, so is he or she. So think positive things happening. If you tell your brain this is not going to go well, your brain's not going to let you initiate, conversation. Change that hostile attribution bias to say, what, God is love. There are people out here, and entrust yourself to read body language. This seems, if they're nice to other people, what are the chances that they're going to be nice to you? So have high trust of others. Don't be picky. Don't do the superficial stuff. You know what I'm saying? Nobody cares if you have an Hermes bag. Nobody cares you Gucci this, Gucci that. That's cool. I applaud you. I want you to have nice things. You work hard for those nice things. But don't just get around for those superficial things, because you'll find yourself, once you lose those things, you will be without those friends. You pick them superficially, you're going to lose them superficially. But if you want a friend that sticks closer than a brother and a sister, let it be based on your character and your vibe and your chemistry and your connection. And then be a better friend. Be friendly. Want to celebrate others. Go into it wanting to pray for someone. Go into it wanting to surprise someone for their birthday, and they haven't had a birthday celebration since the pandemic. Go in wanting to be able to lend a hand to help them to visit their parents or whatever it is. Go in there wanting to give. Be a giver, not a taker. All right, I love y'all. I hope this helps. Go get you some friends. You plus one is going to make a world of difference. Now, if it's $1 plus $1, you still broke. All right, $2 and $1, you still broke. But if you have one friend, that is a multiplicative relationship. If you just have your one friend, you can go anywhere and not feel alone. So I love you. God loves you. He's not forgotten about you. Let's go make friends. Take care and God bless.